Everyone, it's Giselle again, and I thought that I would continue to share some personal breakthroughs and tips because I feel that this would be very helpful to anyone who feels drawn to watch this video. As you may have noticed, my channel has become less about doing general readings because I don't use cards really when I do readings for people. I mainly tune into the energies because I am an empath. I can feel and pick up images and hear things surrounding, you know, whoever you want me to look into situations, see things from their perspective so that you may be more understanding of what's happening. I can also give you messages from your higher self, and therefore what I've been given as feedback is people seem to really like the tips that they get, the practical advice and the practical applications that they can then use in their day-to-day lives to ascend into a higher state. And therefore, it's more than just, oh, here's your tarot spread and this is what's going to happen for you. Because no, I don't believe that at all. Even when I do work on the psychic lines, I tell people I am not one of those people that just lays out a spread and goes, well, 3 months from now, you're going to meet someone and blah, blah, blah. I'm much more able to pick up the energies at what's currently happening because that's guaranteed. Because your future is in your hands. You want to change things 3 months from now. It's not, some sort of fated thing that you are going to have to go through. You can change it. You can take stock of your destiny and take charge and be the one in the driving seat. And I want to give you that feeling of empowerment rather than the helplessness of, oh my goodness, in 3 months' time, they said this is going to happen. You know what I mean? And I hope that that is much more helpful to people. And I feel that from the feedback I've been given, that people do feel that way. So today I want to talk about journeying back to innocence. And particularly, I'm going to give myself as an example, taking myself back to how I was and the attitude that I had towards love and relationships before I even had my first relationship. So to me, that would be journeying back to the age of 16, when I was expecting the very best from love, where I didn't have my heart broken, where I didn't feel all the pain and rejection that came with having a relationship, where I just had my heart fully open and had so much love to give, but also expected so much love equally in return, and not this warped view that I have come to develop over time, because I feel that it has hindered things on my divine love journey too, where I've expressed certain things to my beloved, and I'm sure that they've taken it the wrong way, or it's made them doubt themselves and probably brought up things within them where they thought, well, yikes, if she's saying these things, then I must not be ready and I must not be able to give her what she needs. In particular, I brought up the fact that a lot of people I've dated have wasted my time, and I'm sure that that's been a massive issue for him, where he thought, oh no, if I'm not fully ready, then I better not come forward because she's going to say that I'm a time waster too. And then more recently, where I discussed the fact that I haven't done certain things with certain people, or with anyone for that matter, because I have trust issues. Whereas I did not mean it to say that I don't trust him, because I actually meant it the opposite way. I said, with other people I've had trust issues, but with you, I'm willing to take the leap of faith and try all these things. But again, looking at him and feeling into his energy now, I realized that he took that the wrong way. And it's really brought up a lot of pain and anxiety within him, where he's thinking, well, maybe I can't be trusted either. Maybe I'll end up doing the wrong things and making her even more skeptical and not believe in love anymore. And so I've come to realize that, and now is the time to release all of that. Now is the time to journey back to innocence and back to the time when I was expecting nothing but the best. When I was expecting love to be amazing, when I felt that sharing yourself physically, spiritually, and emotionally with someone is an exclusive thing, is sacred, is not to be shared willy-nilly with just anyone to make yourself feel good. And sadly, as a few failed relationships have passed, I have gone through dark times where I thought, you know what? Maybe I should just go out and have fun and not see relationships as so serious, and perhaps, I don't know, a fling or two would do me good. But as I realized as time went on that none of them actually made me feel happy, and they leave you feeling empty and lonely and sad, and you realize that sharing that part of yourself needs to be with someone special and can't just be, seen as a fun activity. Certainly not for me. And I need to clear and heal that part of me. Take out all of those painful memories and associations and start again. Start again, a clean slate. Uncreate all of those limiting and painful memories and all of the beliefs attached to them. Uncreate all of my expectations. My expectations when I was younger were so much more optimistic. My expectations now are kind of like, well, I hope for the best, but I also hope that I don't get hurt. But before I even had my first relationship, I never went in with the thought that I would ever get hurt. I just went in, jumped into the deep end, head first, expecting nothing but the best. And, life happens. People end up hurting you. Situations end up just really bad sometimes, to the point where you're just questioning, oh my goodness, what did I do to deserve this? In hindsight, I realized the things I went through, no matter how traumatic they were, and some of them were incredibly, incredibly traumatic, and I would never wish them on anyone. But I went through them because I've chosen this path to help people. And had I not gone through something as bad myself, I maybe not have had the amount of compassion that I needed to help other people through it. Because I'm naturally a very direct person. I'm very fiery and also I can emotionally detach if I need to. I think that's an important factor in this line of work too, because if I took all of my clients' problems with me, then, well, I'd never sleep. I'd be depressed and it would hurt me a lot. So I do need to distance myself to a certain extent. But I think what this has taught me is I can have the tendency to distance myself a bit too much, to the point where I don't show compassion or even feel, which is ironic since I'm an empath and I can feel people's energy anyway. But having gone through certain things myself, I will really understand and therefore carry that with me for the rest of my life so that I can help other people who've gone through similar things. And I think that's a good thing because it makes me more compassionate, more able to relate, and more able to help people to a greater extent. Not just in theory, this is what should happen. No, I've gone through it. I've gone through the practical. So, yeah. But now the time has come for me to release, to be freed, to have the learnings and the teachings and the experience, but not to carry that forward in my energy, and certainly not project that onto my current relationships with people whether that's friends, family, or my partner. I should not carry that forward anymore. So basically what I'm doing now is resetting my mindset to go back to that optimistic 16-year-old, but with all of the lessons that I have learned from the relationships that I've had. Just not carrying any of the resentment, any of the expectations, the negative expectations of, oh, this has happened to me before, what if it happens to me again? No. Just not carrying any of that with me. And just going forth with a clean slate, but with all of the wisdom that I did pick up along the years. And now I can understand why there were still things that needed clearing, why there were still things that needed sorting out. Even though a week ago I was ready to write a letter to the universe of, I'm ready for love, I'm ready for 100%. I'm ready to give and receive, and I'm ready to dive in. But something in me prevented me from writing that letter. And I knew that there was something, I just didn't know exactly what it was. Until the meditation this morning, and I came away from my meditation initially a little bit frustrated because I didn't get the initial things that I had planned for it to be, but it became so much more. I discovered things about myself that I didn't understand I had before, and that no other reader other than me could bring out. To be fair, I haven't had readings from other people recently because I've been told to trust my own intuition. And so a lot of this inner work has had to come from myself. My intention with the meditation was to find out what was blocking us. But really, what happened was I found out what was blocking me and what their perspective was on these blockages, because it has affected them to a certain extent where they felt like, oh, I can't do this to her, therefore I'd better just pull away and protect her from me doing stupid things. Oh, and I now realize that I was the one that put these obstacles in the way. Not intentionally, of course, but whereas before I thought, oh, what's blocking him? What's making him unable to come forward? Actually, these issues have nothing to do with him. In a sense, we do mirror each other, and I feel that this healing for me will help to heal him too. I feel we've been through similar pain, through similar obstacles in relationships. They may not have been the exact same scenarios, but the overall lesson and the overall pain attached to them is similar. And that I can feel. And I know that through me elevating and learning, it will do the same for him. And so I hope that any of you listening finds this helpful, and that it encourages you to go within and see what is it that you've unintentionally carried through to this day that you must release in order to get your happily ever after. If you would like some help from me, I'll be more than happy to do a reading. All my details are in the link. I don't only do readings. I also do channelings from people, your higher selves, guides, whoever you really feel you need a message from. I do that live in the reading as I call in the energy of that person that you require. And I can also do energy work, healings for you, rituals, whatever you actually think you need. I act as a conduit, so you must treat these sessions as you know, I am sort of the middle person that helps, but ultimately the energy attached to what you take away from the reading is down to you. Because I've had people in the past where I've done a ritual for and it's worked great the first time, and then they come back to me and then they say, oh, but my ritual now hasn't actually happened yet as fast as the first one did. It's because you've attached expectations to it and limited yourself through that. So please treat everything with an open mind, and whatever you intend and whatever you put in is what you will get from it. But I'm certainly more than happy to help you and guide you, because sometimes I know it can be hard to trust your own intuition, and sometimes you just need a confirmation or just need someone to clarify things for you and to bring things to the forefront that maybe you're just a bit too clouded to see right now. So if you would like to connect with me, then please find all my details in the description. I hope that this message has helped anyone who has been drawn to this video. Thank you all so very much for listening to me. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.